Stellar XLM, the CEO, has just said this about tokenization. Now, tokenization is the talk of the town. Not only big asset managers such as BlackRock that have been talking about tokenization, but many other companies as well. And of course, within the blockchain space, I think that it is only the beginning of tokenization in general, and we are definitely going to see an increase in it rapidly as well, as it does open up doors for a secondary market. Now, we're also going to be covering the Stellar XLM price today. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So what we have from the CEO is her statement over here saying, if you thought tokenization created a buzz in 2023, just wait for next year as it permeates both Wall Street and Main Street's finance. Not only will we see more tokenized bank deposits and funds on chain, but the real rise of real world asset tokenization and issuance will both increase inclusivity in our global financial system and spur a revitalized race to facilitate the fastest, most cost effective and accessible payments and transactions via blockchain. B2B, B2C and C2C transactions on chain will become more popular, coinciding with advances in stablecoin and crypto utilization among the global unbanked. And so of course, those individuals that are unbanked, in terms of tokenization, it will benefit them. And tokenization for institutions in general, and also for even retail holders, it will help to be able to increase that liquidity. That is what we talk about when it comes to these assets, being able to sell it on that secondary market. I mean, you can also hold it as well, but being able to sell it is essentially what makes it even more valuable, and that is definitely going to relate to assets, not only like stocks, bonds and ETFs, but also with real estate as well. We have seen a bit of hype happening regarding tokenization in 2023, but again, this is only just the beginning. I mean, with the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals coming out, it's only going on forward, and BlackRock have also said that they will be looking into tokenization as well, and that they will be tokenizing pretty much everything, and it is going to shape the financial system and the way that the banks are operating. So we have an interview over here with Franklin Templeton and also the CEO of Stellar. You'll see over here that Franklin Templeton have tokenized $270 million of assets via Stellar to date, and I think now it is roughly around about maybe over $300 million. I think that needs to be updated. The Franklin Templeton have around about 1.5 trillion assets under management, and BlackRock have 9 trillion. However, BlackRock are still not in Stellar, but they have a lot more assets and they could potentially be getting into Stellar in general.
Well, it's so funny because I remember, I think it was in November of 2019, there was a filing that you guys had made that was picked up by, and it was the first mention of using the Stellar blockchain. And I was like, this is exactly the way that you want open technology to work. You guys looked at this, made your decisions about what you were going to do. No one had to force you. Like, no one went out and said, hey, we're going to pay you lots of money to do this. You guys figured it out. We were thrilled to see that, because that's exactly what we want to see happen all over the world. And what we do see happen, not at this scale necessarily, but small individual developers in other parts of the world can grab the technology and do it. But once we did, we were like, hey, we should be talking to them. And so we started the conversations, and it's just been so nice to watch the journey.
Yeah.
And to watch that, you guys did very methodically approach this.
Yeah.
And so what are the benefits that you see for?
Well, I mean, of course, at the time we were, trying to figure out which platform to use, and I think we ended up with Stellar because of really the capabilities that you guys have that were so important for the regulatory environment, right? I mean, so this concept of being able to, claw back a transaction, right? That's important. We're required to do that. If there's something that happens, you got to be able to fix some of those things, and have this control environment in which we're responsible for. And the Stellar chain allowed us to do some of those things. And then also, you guys Stellar's amazing with how cheap your gas fees are. I mean, yeah, there's nobody else that comes near that. And, that's important to us and important to our clients. So it's really been I think a terrific journey together.
So you can see over here, the representative from Franklin Templeton has basically said that when it comes to the transactions, it is a safety net because they are able to take a look and obviously rectify anything. And of course, the gas fees as well, the Stellar lumens, is barely anything. It is under a couple of cents. And so it would make sense that they would be choosing to use the Stellar blockchain because it's so cheap, and that is what their clients want as well. You have to remember that the institutions have to do what the clients tell them in a way. We also know that the head of digital digital assets at Franklin Templeton, has said before that blockchains like Stellar are really important to the investment of the future, and that assets built on the blockchain rails will eventually be interoperable with the rest of the digital assets ecosystem. Interoperable meaning that they're able to link up with these different systems, and so it is essentially pretty much standardized. And also that we know when it comes to Franklin Templeton that they are recording their shares in their money market fund using the Stellar blockchain already, and so that is a real world use case that we have. We do actually have some news over here coming out of the Stellar DAO and the official API and how they are collaborating to build Act on Stellar. Now, with over 500 users and liquidity exceeding $60,000 on the Stellar network, the Act ecosystem is thriving, and a Soroban officials' upcoming update will further automate your Act experience. Now, in terms of authentic payment, they are actually creating an ecosystem in the Stellar blockchain, and Act over here is the community token that they have now introduced to support the ecosystem, and also in partnership with Stellar as well. Danelle Dixon has also posted a tweet regarding the ETF. This was a few days ago now, but she has said, I think it's official, and that was due to the timing. She goes, she waited a bit to ensure we wouldn't see another retraction, and today's news regarding the Bitcoin ETS is fantastic, and it is the long-awaited signal for Wall Street. It will drive major players to adopt blockchain, move our entire industry forward, and enhance financial services, leading to a more inclusive system. So as we know, one of the big players here are Grayscale, because Grayscale were able to push back the SEC, and that was in terms of the spot ETF. And so we finally have the approvals. It does obviously mark a change within the crypto space, and it is pretty much revolutionary, as the ETS before were rejected around about back in 2017, and so now just 7 years later they are approved and they are currently live for trading. We are seeing a lot of inflows. I think inflows were roughly around about 4 billion just 2 days ago, and so it just goes to show how far we have come. Now, before we have a look at the price action for today, I actually want to show you the senior vice president of Franklin, and you can see over here she expects other cryptocurrencies such as ETH to follow the SEC's spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And Digital Assets Daily says that Franklin Templeton is built upon Stellar, as we know, and he'd expect to see a possible XLM or XRP amongst the soon to be announced ETPs, which you know is a possibility, right? Because they are already using their blockchain. It would make sense that they would actually turn to them first compared with other altcoins. So let's take a look at this.
Potential of this whole crypto domain. So we will continue to evolve our product range and continue to offer our investors more opportunities to access this innovation and capture the beta of what we call this new protocol economy.
But what would you start with? ETH? Something else? Another altcoin?
I would say two, but I think that you can anticipate that you will see more filings coming from us at some point.
How soon can they come, Sandy? I think, you see a market seeing today get through the window and a lot of excitement already build around other assets.
Yeah, well, I think that's a normal progression path, right? I mean, there are many coins that have hit large market caps within the space. And why stop with just Bitcoin, right? I mean, there are other opportunities. They are different opportunities. Ethereum is another asset in the crypto domain that offers a slightly different value proposition than Bitcoin because it's more of an app development platform and it fosters its own ecosystem. So that's a slightly different investment proposition than Bitcoin. And, in all portfolio theory, it's better to have multiple assets in a portfolio rather than a single asset portfolio. So it would not be reasonable to expect that Bitcoin is going to be the only asset that moves into vehicles that make it easier for investors to put their money into this space.
And that's so true. I definitely like the fact that she has said that Bitcoin won't be the only spot ETF out there. It is just the beginning. We are going to be seeing more spot ETF products being offered, and I'm glad that she has taken such an open approach to this. She has already said that they will actively be looking into these spot ETFs and that they will be offering these other products as well for their clients. And it just goes to show that this is who we need, Franklin, rather than brokers like Vanguard that won't be offering the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And it's giving you the freedom as a client to be able to hold that as well as an investment. So bonus points for Franklin. Now let's have a look at the price action for today. As you can see, we are trading at 12 cents. We are up by 0.47% on the 1-day chart. For the volume, we are down by 47%. As you can see, we are trading at $59.2 million. So in the earlier hours of the morning, we were pretty much trading just at the level that we are at right now. And you can see that we have taken a low to 0.1186, but really not too bad, guys, because it didn't drop that much. Now on the 7-day chart, we are up by 1.26%. As you can see, we have come down now now a little bit just in the past couple of days. We were actually able to hit 0.126. Now we were just above that mid-range, and then we were actually able to hit 1.25 just the next day. So we were doing pretty well. Now in terms of the price action for Stellar XLM coin right now at 12 cents, it's not that bad. I mean, on the 1 month chart, despite us being down by 4.85%, we are still pretty much higher than when we were before at that 11-cent level at 0.1139. Now I do want to see Stellar XLM coin get back to the mid-range of 12 cents, and of course back to 13 cents where we were originally before, just back in November. I mean, we only have a 1 cent move for that, and we have hit it a few times as well, so it shouldn't be that difficult if we were able to see a bit more volume for Stellar. Guys, if you want daily Stellar XLM coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.